like, wait a second. Who's paying for this? Who has money? Who's doing this? Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. So, I'm looking crazy. Don't mind all of this. Today, we are gonna share some tea, have a little chit chat. I'm going to do my hair while we talk, and I'm gonna tell you all about why I didn't get married. So I'm looking down here at the mirror when I look away. So half of the reason I'm telling this story is because so many people always asking somebody this question. So I'm not on social media anymore, but when I was on social media, I would have people asking me this question. And then when I left, they would be asking my friends, like, oh, what happened to Kendra? What's going on? When's she getting married? So a lot of my own close family and friends don't even know like the real reason why. They just know that Kendra moved and she's not getting married. Like, that's just it. So it wasn't no real explanation that I ever told anybody about why I wasn't getting married. So, all right, where do I begin? I met him a few months after I found out that my dad had cancer. So he was kind of like a rebound. We gonna call him Tyrone. That's what his name gonna be, Tyrone, so that I don't say any names. Tyrone was kind of like a rebound because I had previously stopped talking to, basically you could say, my high school sweetheart. So a few months later, I went to a baby shower with a friend. I met Tyrone. So Tyrone was about 8 or 9 years younger than me. And he was so young, his friends just called me teacher. I don't even know if any of them even knew my real name. So he was into the fast life. We was always out, you know, drinking with friends, going out on school night. That was fun to a certain extent. Because we was out a lot, you know, I was getting dressing nice, you know, but I still didn't need him for nothing, right? I was teaching, so, you know, he kind of was like always trying to, and I didn't really look at it as showing off, but it kind of felt like he was always trying to show like, oh, you know, I can take care of you. Like, you don't have to spend this, I'll do this, blah, blah, blah. So his friends, associates, I should say, you know, was always, you know, around too. And I just think they admired the fact that like I was never asking him or any of them, you know, for anything, right? I didn't really need anything from them, so I wasn't asking for anything. I was just out with them having a good time. So he was Caribbean. Where he was from? Ghana is in Africa, girl. Guyana, is that where he's from? I don't know, something with a G. Red, green, and yellow on the flag. I don't know. I'm gonna Google it and put the country. I'll put it down here on the screen. But yeah, he was Caribbean, so he was getting a little possessive, I would say. So, you know, we would be out and about, you know, drinking. He would get a little bit controlling. He was getting a little, you know, possessive or whatever. It would be, so he would just be like, it's your eyes. Like, if I have even looked at anybody, like somebody walking past you, you know, you're gonna look. His friend saying hi, you give them eye contact when you speak to people, right? Like, that's how I was raised. You look people in their eyes when you're talking to them. he would be like, it's your eyes. I'm like, bitch, what you want me to do? Like, I'm supposed to use them, ain't I? Like, what is the problem? So we used to get in real fights over that. And like, it was only, when Tyrone was drunk. Like, other than that, it wasn't. But he would either get a big attitude or we would legit have a fight. Like, we were both abusive to each other. I will say that, because I wasn't just taking no hits now. So we was both really abusive to each other at one point. Like, I remember this one time, right? We went out. It was his birthday, actually. And I done got a cake made. I think he was turning 21. Yeah. I done got a cake made, did all of this, went out to some club, he with all these guys, blase. They order one of them, like sprinters or whatever, to go to the club and get back from. To be honest right now, I can't even tell you what it was over, right? But we got into that sprinter and we started going at it. And I can't even tell you what the fight was about right now. But all I can tell you, baby, is that man brought his hand back and smacked the living daylights out of me. Like, you got knocked the fuck out. I went to another world. And that is not funny. Nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. I used to put my hands on him. He used to put his hands on me. And that is not, anything to play about. But he smacked the living daylights out of me. To the point I didn't even fight back. Like, that's how I was, like, so shocked. I just sat down and was thinking about how to get away with murder. I'm not going to do nothing right now. But I'm going to kill him.
Should I shoot him? Should I shoot him? Just tell me who I should shoot and I'll shoot.
So that was just one instant. Like, it was numerous times. It was numerous fights. It was just, it was his attitude. Like, he just had a really bad attitude. Like, if things did not go his way, then that was the end of it. Like, it either had to go his way or, no way at all. So after my dad passed away, like, everything changed. So before, I'm always going out with him. He's staying out late. Like, sometimes he was staying with me. Sometimes he wasn't. Like, I really never cared, about his movements. Never clocked his movements or anything like that. Because he was legit always in the street. Like, always outside. But if it was 11 o'clock at night, midnight, and he'd just be like, oh, get dressed and come, we going here, I would get dressed and come. After my dad died, that definitely all changed. Like, I wasn't going anywhere. Like, baby, like, if he did not bring me food into the house, I wouldn't eat some days. Like, I was, it was just real depression that I was dealing with. And I didn't want to go out. Like, how do you want me to, still go out like nothing happened when my whole world just crumbled, right? So we were legit now having arguments about me not going out. Like, and some of it, the arguments was okay. He like, dang, you not gonna feed yourself? Like, you not gonna get up and make you some noodles? Like, if he had to be out all day, I wouldn't eat all day. Like, so some of the arguments was just like, all right, Kendra, you could get up and feed yourself, right? But, other arguments was legit, like, you don't just want to go to the movies. We don't have to go with anybody else. It could just be us. And I'm still just like, no. Like, no, I don't want to do any of that. Like, and it wasn't like I was going out with other people and didn't want to go out with him. I wasn't going out with anybody. Everybody felt my distance, right? Everybody knew why I was being distant. Everybody felt the distance. And the friends who were really my friends are still here, after the distance. Like, he just didn't get that though. He did not understand it. He still wanted me to, you know, like move, you know, like nothing, you know, had happened. He was like, you can't stop your whole life, da 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 da. And I'm just like, my life is over. Like, there is nothing I want to talk about right now. Like, I was in therapy. I had started to go to therapy because I was having suicidal thoughts. And so my dad died in October. In January of the next year, his daughter came to live with us. So she was supposed to stay for 6 months. Her mother said, oh, I have to move, I have to do some stuff. Can you have, you know, your daughter? Of course, he was a very, very, and is a very, very good dad. So that was like a no questions asked. He went and picked her up, you know, next thing. She was only supposed to stay for 6 months. Girl, that baby stayed with us for like the next 2, almost 3 years.
Hey, hold up.
Like, she was there. So now I just lost my dad, and now I'm jumping straight into like this new, you know, stepmother role. Like, she had the longest, nicest, but thickest. It tangled so much hair that now I have to learn how to do. She hated getting it done, so she was screaming. I gotta learn this, you know, little girl, and how to deal with her, school. Now, I'm a teacher, but I teach big kids. So now I'm sitting here, you know, being a mother that's like, 1 + 1 = 2. How much does that equal? Put up 2 fingers. Now I'm her. Now I'm being that black mama because I don't know how to teach no little kid. You putting all of this on me. All of this is just brand new. I'm trying to help him out. He a good dad, and I'm like, all right, you know, if we're gonna be together, we together right now, you know, let me go into this, you know, role. It was okay for a minute. Of course, those first 6 months was cool because I'm like, girl, I could do this for 6 months. And then September came and she was like, yeah, could you keep her for this school year? Sis, a whole year though? That was kindergarten. Oh, could you keep her for this year? That was 1st grade. Like,
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I was just like, all right now, what the hell is going on here? Come on. So January, she moved in with us, and was it March of that year? Yeah. In March of that year, which is still 5 months after I lost my dad, he proposed. Now, the thing about him proposing is we had never talked about marriage, like ever. We did not, like, we just did not talk about it. It was not something that we had previously discussed. So much so, and you know, I was out of it so much that he showed me a video of the ring he gave me. And he was like, oh, my homeboy is about to propose to his girlfriend. Do you think that this is a nice ring? So he showed me the video of the ring, and I was like, oh, wow, that is a really, really pretty ring. That's really nice or whatever. Didn't even cross my mind that he, you know, he was tricking me, that he was showing me the ring to see if I would like it, because like I said, we had never, you know, talked about marriage. That wasn't something that we was talking about. So I don't even know how long from when he showed me the ring to when he proposed, but he proposed right in the house. I had a bonnet on. I think I was eating a bag of cheese doodles, and nails wasn't done, nothing. And he just like tapped me. I'm sitting on the bed watching TV. He like tapped me on my shoulder. I'm turning around like, what you want? And he's, you know, down on one knee with the ring. And I'm like, what, you drop something? Like, what's going on? And then I see it and I'm like, oh, what's going on? So, but in my shock, you know, I start crying. I'm just like, wow. And then I'm just surprised too, because I'm like, oh my God, this is the ring. Like, you know, this is the one that you had showed me the video of. All right. So cool. we do that whole thing over for social media though, right? We he's like, oh, let's do it, so you can post it. So I think like a week later was my birthday. So, I got all done up, and then we went to a restaurant, and he put the ring in champagne, and they brought out a plate that said, will you marry me? So that's what the world knows. So everybody else doesn't know that, like, I knew that was happening. So it was not, when I posted those pictures, nobody knew that he had already proposed to me in the house. That was just something that, me and him know. Like, I don't even know if I even told my sisters that. After that, things just went way too fast, and I just was not emotionally ready for it. So I'm a stepmom, I'm engaged, I'm teaching, and I'm depressed. Like, it's supposed to be one of the happiest times. Like, I'm getting married, and all I could think about the whole wedding thing was, my dad not gonna be there. Like, who gonna walk me down the aisle? Who's going to do that dance with me? Every time I thought about that first dance, I got upset, and then I got sad. So it was just like, I just was not emotionally ready for that. And it should have been a thing where it's like, okay, well, you can stay engaged, for a little while till you get yourself together. But that's not how it went. It went, our families were cool. Like, moms just ran with it. It was like, oh, we about to plan the wedding. When y'all getting married? Both of our parents lived in Georgia, and we both lived in New York. So I went down there one time. Tyrone's family, my family, all met up together like, hey, let's go try on, wedding and bridesmaid dresses today. I was like, today? We going like right now? I tried on wedding dresses. It just wasn't great. Like, everything, you're supposed to be happy. I wasn't thinking about how I looked. I was just thinking about who would not be there, right? It was making my mom happy. So I kind of held my tongue about certain things when everybody was talking about the wedding, because with everything going on, I'm like, hey, this is making her, think about something else. They went straight into planning mode. So trying on dresses. He wanted his sisters and cousin in the wedding. I have 4 sisters myself. If I want any of my cousins, my best friends, so the wedding party is going to like 12, 13, 14 already. And I'm already looking like, that's huge. Like, that is a lot of people just in the wedding. Then my mom says, okay, start just writing down who you would invite. Mothers, man, you love them, right? But my mom is like, oh, invite this person, invite that person, people I don't even know. Invite the cousin. He'll, my cousin from this side, he's gonna come. Invite him. Invite the doctor who birthed you, and the nurses who was in the room too. Like, sis, are you serious? Are you serious right now? Them people don't remember me, and I don't know them.
I don't know her.
Man, that list got past 300 people so fast. And I was like, 300 where? We went to look at places. Who's paying $150 plus for 300 plus people?
I did not sign up for this.
I'm like, wait a second. Who's paying for this? Who has money? Who's doing this? When you lose a parent, your whole energy, your mind, yourself, your values, they all change after you lose, someone that's that close to you. So I didn't want that anymore. Like, we got to the point where I was even like, you want to go to the justice of the peace and not tell them? Like, so we're in planning mode. I kind of, hint to my mom, like, okay, we're gonna wait, to plan. We did put money down on that place though, because they always book up. So I'm like, all right, we'll put that money down. We took some really, really nice engagement photos too. So I'm just like, okay, we'll do these 2 things and then we'll slow down with the planning, right? But the wedding was booked for, I forget the date now, but it was the summer of the following year. So I'm like, we'll slow down, with the planning. It's going a little bit too fast and everything. But then we just started to fight about dumb things like what colors we were going to wear, who was going to do what. Obviously his daughter was going to be in the wedding, but if the daughter's mother was going to come. When he was all hype and ready to get married, I was having doubts. I was like, this is going a little bit too fast, and I am not emotionally ready for this, right? Then when I think I'm kind of ready, like when I see that it's really making my mom, happy, which wasn't me being ready, but I see it's making my mom happy, I'm like, okay. Then he started having doubts, because this is now around a time where we thought his daughter, she went back to the mom for the summer, and we thought she was staying there. And then the mom calls in August and say, oh, can she come back for that whole year? So now you're talking about a year, of finances of having a daughter full time. So now he's thinking financial wise, like, dang. Now we got the baby the whole time. Now I got my daughter the whole time. Hold up, let's fall back on this. So it was like we never was in sync. Like we never at the same time was like, okay, we're ready to do this. Like when he would be ready, I wouldn't. I would be ready, he wouldn't. Like, and what I'll tell you guys is if you ever having doubts, just don't do it. Don't do it just to have to turn around, spend all that money and get divorced a year later because you ignored, those doubts. Like, don't ignore your doubts. At first I was like, oh, I done told everybody, and that's another thing. I had the pressure of just telling people, like, dang, my sisters is excited. I done told the whole world. I done put it on social media. People there asking me, oh, are they gonna come? Are they invited? Da-da-da. I don't have social media now, but even if I did, I will be married with kids, living in a new country like I am now, and nobody would know because I will post nothing about my life on social media no more. Because here we are, almost 3 years later, and people will still ask me, when's the wedding? Like, sis, mind your business. Just mind your business now, because you dragging it. When's the wedding? Now his daughter is with us, right? And I started to love her. She there all the time. Now I'm engaged, so I'm like, she ain't going nowhere, gotta love her. Sometimes even just seeing them together, I could not do it. And I hope this doesn't sound horrible, but like he will be like, oh, let's go out together as a family. And I don't know. She loved her dad, right? And he loved his daughter. And that is the honest way it was supposed to be. It made me sick to my stomach. Like I just couldn't sit around it. Not that sick to my stomach like it was disgusting, but sick to my stomach because like I knew I was like that with my dad and I would never be able to get to do that again, right? So I just emotionally just could not, be around it. So I would tell him like, oh no, y'all go, father-daughter time, da-da-da-da-da. And so even the little girl was like, dang, you never want to go nowhere with us. Like, she would even say things like that. And he would be like, yeah, like, you used to go out with us all the time. And now you never want to do, nothing with us. So, he was starting to take that personally. I was starting to take her personally. It was a mess. Like, it was, she was getting a little attitude-ish. And I was like, baby, I fight people's kids. Like, do you not know this? I will fight you. All right? So, I never did, but I wanted to. Now he is starting to get more into his religion, which is, it's still Christianity, but it's like a different I don't know. I don't even know what to call it, and I don't want to lie to y'all. You know, it was different. That's all I say, right? It was different. And I had previously dated somebody that didn't have, you know, my religion. And, you know, my mom and my parents used to always be like, well, what y'all gonna do? A religion, you gonna raise your kids. And what's gonna happen at the wedding if you a different religion? And da-da-da-da-da. So I thought it was good for him. I just was not interested in it at all. Like, I fell back at this point, baby. And I was not interested in anything that was going on with him, to be 100% honest. Like, it was just like, I was just like on auto mode, you know, like I was just there, you know, nothing else really happening. I was just there. It was like, okay, you going here? Okay. You going here? Okay. Like, never questioned him about nothing. Never wondered about nothing. Baby, that man could have been doing anything he wanted to do. And I wouldn't have known no different because I was paying absolutely no mind. Like, I was really just trying to survive each day. And at that point, I was like, I am not going to let anybody else's issues or problems become my issues or problems, because, like, I just really didn't have the energy to care, you know, at that moment. Then, like I told y'all before, he was in the streets. Some bad things started to happen and go down south for him. And I mean, this man swore that somebody was out to get him. Like, he started getting super paranoid. He was having bad, like, everything he touched was going bad. And he swore somebody was doing voodoo or something else or something, you know. That's first thing, Caribbeans, they gonna think some voodoo or something was happening. So he swore somebody was doing voodoo or something on him, and he was just super paranoid. So it probably was the opposite. That probably happened, and then he got super into, you know, his religion or whatever. But he was just getting super paranoid. Like, things were going bad for him. He already had one felony, and he was in trouble again. So he stopped speaking to his best friend over it, you know. Then come to find out, he talking about, oh, I got some girls who are my friends, but they, you know, be telling me they want to talk to me, so maybe it was them who did something over me. Baby, unless you did something to one of them girls, they not just like, oh, I want this man, let me put, I mean, and they could be, but I was like, boy, who you think you lying to? You probably sleeping with them or doing something else. But guess who did not care? Me, baby. I did not care at that point. There was no more arguing. There was no fights like at the beginning of the relationship. None of that. All of that was out of the window. So I will say he was really, 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 really there for me after my dad died. And I honestly will forever, ever love him because of that. Like, he really, you know, held me down, saved my life one time when I almost overdosed. Like, he was really, really there for me. I will give him that. Like, I will never take that away from him. So, you know, but now, you know, he was going through it. So I was, you know, I wasn't showing that I didn't care, but in my heart, I really was like, what in the God's name is going on right now? But I was trying to be there for him, you know, like, what you need, I don't understand none of that stuff he was talking about voodoo, about this, about that. Like, I ain't raised in none of that. I don't know about that. I don't know what you're talking about. So I basically was just like a listening ear during this time, you know, to be able to help him out, give him whatever little advice I could, and, you know, be there in any way for him, you know, during that time. But it was really getting crazy. Like, it was getting crazy. He was paranoid. I basically was just like taking care of his daughter so he ain't have to think about that. Like, he wasn't, we just wasn't seeing eye to eye, you know, anymore. Like, she was with me just way too much, and I was just like, bruh, you know, you can't be out every day leaving me with her. This is not, and I don't want to be mean, right? Because at this point, we ain't fully say we not getting married yet, but in my head, I'm just thinking like, we ain't getting married. And I'm just like, so I was trying not to be like, this ain't my daughter. I don't want to do this. But that's how I felt. Okay? I was just like, I didn't, when did I sign up for this? Let's show me the permission slip, please, because it was just becoming too much. Like, I wanted time to myself. I shouldn't have to find no babysitter. This ain't my responsibility, bro. If I say I got something to do, people like, well, what's she gonna do? Baby, I don't know. Like, you know, so then she started spending more time at his, you know, grandmother's house and things like that. But I could tell he had an attitude about it, that he had to like find some place, because before it would be nothing, you know, that she would just stay with me. But I'm not gonna sacrifice like not going out or not doing something I want to do to stay in the house. Like, I'm the one with kids, and my friends is the one with kids, and they the ones inviting me out, and I gotta be like, oh, I can't go because I got the baby with me. No, sir. That's on the list of things that we not gonna do. I'm gonna go finish this side, and then I'm gonna come right back. All right, y'all, I'm back. I only got this little piece to go. Let's get back into it. So, where was I? I was checked out of the whole relationship, being a stepmom, of everything that was going on. It was just too much for me. Like, it was just too much going on for me, all at the same time. He pretty much kind of knew it was done too, because he never said like, what does this mean for us? Like, we never sat down and kind of like had a real conversation about like what that meant, you know, or like what that looked like. Like, are we still together? Are we not? It was just like, honestly, it was legit just like unspoken. Like, we did not speak about what was happening and what was going on. So yeah, so then I moved. We kept in contact that first year. Not like a lot was out here, and I came home for the summer. We did see each other again. Like, you know, we hung out for a little bit, you know, we seen each other, we caught up or whatever. It was still cool. His daughter was with him for the summer. She did. So the summer I moved, she finally did go back and live with her mom. So she was up there with him for the summer, so, you know, even got to see her. But I pretty much haven't spoken to him since then, you know. For everybody, you know, asking why I didn't get married, asking friends, and, you know, wanting to know what's going on, that is why.
There you go.
I didn't want that for me, you know. I just didn't see what was going on being for us for the long run. With the age difference, I also just felt like I didn't want, my life was changing when I was 30, not just because of my dad. Well, because a big part of it was my dad, but another big part of it was just me wanting different things, having different goals. And I didn't want to get married and that man get to 30, which would have been, he would have been married for like 5 years. He was getting married at 25 if we would have got married when we did. And then he gets to 30 and now he want all different things. Like, I just didn't want to be, you know, in that predicament. Like, I didn't always know if we would be equally yoked for all of that time, like for life, because we were already falling apart and we didn't even walk down the aisle yet. So sis, see those red flags, listen to them. Don't force yourself to do something for friends or family, or even worse, social media, you know, because a big part, once I had told everybody, I kind of felt like I had to do it, right? Like, a part of me was just like, you have to. And when my mom was, you know, seeing certain things, she never really asked me what was going on or if I was getting married or, you know, anything like that. But she was just like, you know, do what you want. Like, you know, don't rush into anything just because you think you have to or because you pleasing me. I'll be happy with whatever you decide as long as you happy. And once she said that to me, I was just like, good to go, sis. I won't be making that mistake. So I wish him all the best, though. I think that he will be somebody that will still be a very good friend to me, you know, whenever we see each other. Like I said, he saved my life during the time. He was there for me at a time where I was at my absolute lowest, like the lowest of the lowest. So he stuck by me during that time and, you know, tried to uplift me and be there for me. Even though I was severely depressed, he was still there. So that's why I didn't get married. That's why I'm not married. That's why you should wait to get tattoos until you married, because now I gotta get this covered up. We both got each other's initials on our ring finger right before we was going to get married, and then it didn't happen. So yeah, sis, don't do it. At this point, I don't even know if marriage is for me at all. Like, it might not be on the list of things that I'm supposed to do. But thank you for watching. New videos will be up on Wednesday, so come back for more tea, sis.